Welcome back, everybody, to the Daily Racing Show here at RacePlazaMedia. My name is Milan.
My name is Pia.
And today we're going to talk about the Women's Circuit Racing World Championship.
Yes, we're doing a season recap, our thoughts on it, since this was the inaugural season of the WorldWCR, right? CR, yes. I'm still getting used to the abbreviation. It's a little bit of a mouthful. But yeah, this was the first season of a women's only racing league by the FIM. And it was so much fun.
Yes, It was also really interesting because this was the other circuit motorcycle racing championship that we followed this year.
Yes, correct.
The other big one was MotoGP.
Yes.
So this one was obviously very different because every racer, every rider was on the same bike.
Yes.
Also because this being a new season, you had definitely a big variety in skill levels.
Yes, correct.
And then I will also say that this championship definitely favored more European riders or riders who are familiar specifically with European tracks.
Yes.
Because it was exclusively in Europe.
Yeah, they had 6 races overall this season, with races in Spain, Italy, Portugal, England, and that was it. Those were, they 6 races, but they're in those 4 countries. So yeah, definitely favored the European riders, and we definitely saw the Spanish dominance of the sport at this moment. I don't know if there's maybe more support in Spain. We have also in MotoGP, we have a lot of Spanish riders. We have a lot of Italian riders that are at the top, at least at the moment. So it made sense to me. But it was a little bit surprising how much of because they were always in the pack. Like usually the top 5, we had 4 Spanish riders for the most part, with the women's league at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like the podium was usually dominated by Spanish riders. Speaking specifically about Ana Carrasco, Maria Herrera, as well as
Sarah Sanchez,
as well as
Beatriz Naila.
So yeah, those are usually always fighting for podium places, but also like the riding was so strong.
Yeah,
I think especially so the one that I thought was also gonna run away with the championship is Maria Herrera.
Agreed.
Because she was so dominant straight from the get-go, and she was also the type of rider is like, oh, you're gonna pass me, 2 corners later she'll got you again.
It was
like
so,
she will not let you breathe.
Yeah,
Agreed.
Yeah, it was so beautiful to watch. It was really fun. Like you said, this was only our 2nd racing league that we watched. This was the first year that we've really followed motorcycle racing more religiously. We watched all of the races, and it was just really, really beautiful to see. Yeah, like they've had some really great overtakes. There were great battles on the track. There was a little bit of drama off the track, but we've mainly focused just on the pure racing, and it was always so fun. The great thing about the women's WCR is also it's for free for you to watch on YouTube, so you can watch it at any point. You can still watch it if you're curious about this past season. I highly recommend it, also because the races are quite short. They're about, I would say, like 30-ish minutes.
Depending on the track.
Depending on the track. So it was not like you would have to invest a full day into it. It's just a little bit of it, and it was always a lot of fun, a lot of on-track action, either with the front pack but also with some of the other packs. Of course, the broadcast of it is not as high quality as like F1 or MotoGP, just because of money. Like the commentating was great. Like you got a lot of background information on these women, because also we weren't quite as familiar with them, so we got a lot of information through the commentating. It's just I meant more in terms of like camera coverage, because we saw a lot of just the front pack, because they were interesting, there was always action, but we didn't see a lot of what was happening behind it. And the great thing about the World WCRs is that the field is quite diverse. You have a lot of riders from a lot of different countries, different continents, different age groups. You have quite young women. You have women with a lot more experience that go into, I think, their 40s even.
I think the Japanese rider.
Or Taiwanese rider. But anyways, like, so there's a nice diversity, which I really appreciated. So I would have loved to have been able to see some more of these other riders as well throughout the season.
Yes, I think this will also come in the 2nd season, because I think unlike F1 Academy, where that is like a starting point, it doesn't sound like there's a limit on how often you can, or as far as I know, how often you can participate
Yes.
in the Women's Circuit Racing Championship.
However, it is still meant to be like
a stepping stone.
Yeah, it's to promote them, to give them more opportunities, to get them exposure, to find homes in other teams. Because, for example, Ana Carrasco, Maria Herrera have competed in different
Moto 3
and Moto E, I believe, as well. So they're in those mixed leagues as well. But it's about giving those other women, as well as the two of them, more opportunities, more exposure, hopefully more money and sponsorship, so they can fund a career long-term in motorcycle racing.
And the Women's Circuit Racing Championship is also, it is always in companionship with the Superbike Championship.
Yes, correct.
So usually, so Superbike Championship will be racing in the same weekend as the Women's Circuit Racing, but the Women's Circuit doesn't necessarily always race when the Superbike Championship is
because
racing.
they only had 6 races this season, and of course the Superbike season is much
Well,
longer.
they did 12 races. Right. It's
I mean six weekends. Yes, correct.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, but it's really, really awesome. I will, if you are looking to check out one race, I would probably recommend the second Italy race.
Yes, the one at Cremona
So both of those I would probably recommend, because I do remember there was a lot of on-track action,
Yes,
a lot of overtaking, a lot of, fighting for positions.
And one big incident that happened that we've covered in a previous video as well, which was one of our highlights of the season, but it was also quite detrimental to the overall rider championship of the season.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a great league to check out. I think some of our highlights were, of course, the dominance of the Spanish riders, the battle between Maria Herrera and Ana Carrasco, the beautiful riding of the women, period. And then the big moments of the tournament were the race at Cremona, both races at Cremona, but specifically the incident between Sarah Sanchez and Maria Herrera, which we both think, I would say, definitely costs Maria Herrera the championship.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was very interesting, because up until that very moment, I was actually more supporting Ana Carrasco, and not in I wanted her to win the championship, but I wanted her to give Maria a run for her money.
Yes,
because,
or battle, battle
exactly,
her, really.
because Maria was so dominant. However, I think with Anna, what the deal was, and Anna ended up winning the championship, and big congratulations from us also to
of
her,
course, yeah,
is that Anna was more consistently on the podium, because the 2 times, I think, so one time Maria, I think it was the second race or the second race weekend of the championship, where I think in the last corner Maria ended up getting passed by like 3 people, and it was an insane moment where it's like bam bam bam.
Yeah.
But so she ended up dropping out of the podium contention, whereas Anna always consistently was on the podium.
It was another consistency is key kind of Jorge Martin, who was super consistent.
Yeah,
it's the same. I mean, I think it applies to all racing leagues.
We have that this year also in Formula 1.
Yeah, exactly.
We have that in F1 Academy.
Truly key. Yes.
Yeah, consistency. You don't even have to win always, but consistently being on the podium or consistently also coming second
in points, high
is
points,
helping. And then Maria being taken out by accident by Sarah Sanchez. So Sarah Sanchez trying to push through the corner, drops her bike. And then there's no way that Maria at that point can dodge it, because Maria was already in the corner, almost finishing it up. And then all of a sudden this bike just comes and takes her out.
Yeah.
And those were essential points that she ended up missing for the championship.
But I mean, that race was just absolute insanity, because there was constantly back and forth, like you had mentioned. Like when you take over Maria Herrera, she's like, I'm going to come and get you again. And then it was like a constant battle between, it was Ana Carrasco, Maria Herrera, Sarah Sanchez, I think Beatrice Nela, and Roberta Ponciani, the only Italian rider in that pack, were battling so much. And then Roberta also made it onto the podium at that race.
Which was beautiful at home.
Yes. So, and she's been fighting all season to be on the podium, because she was the only non-Spanish rider in that front pack consistently.
Who would consistently be attacking that third place position. I will also say, I forgot.
I don't know what you were going to say. We did also have a rain race, which was really fun. There was a lot of crashes that happened in that race. Then there was a little bit of a, not conspiracy is the word, the little...
Well, no one really knew what rules were going to be applied to. Is because essentially you have different ways on how you can rule who will take over pole position or the first place when a rain
when a rain is ended because of
when a red flag comes out because of rain. So you could either do it, okay, who passed the finish line the last time in first place. You could do it based on sector times. And so there it was kind of like a big confusion because no one knew which rules would be applied.
Yeah.
Then Anna kind of getting lucky again that the rules were applied in her favor. I will say this has nothing to do with conspiracy. It was just that's the rule that they had set before. It's just that we didn't know what rules they were applying.
Well, and the riders unfortunately didn't quite know. There was a lot of confusion going into Park Ferme, and then like at the podium celebration or like leading up to it, like people were like, oh, who's first, who's second, and things like that. But I definitely highly recommend checking it out.
Absolutely.
Either rewatching this year's races or looking forward to next year's races.
Now I remember what I wanted to say. And I will say that I think it is actually really good that Maria didn't end up winning it because she's the type of person who is so fired up and hungry about this that she will come back. If she signs up for next year's season, she will come back and she will want to dominate.
Oh, yes.
She will not want to have the same situation happen where for whatever reason a crash or someone else's mistake will cost her the championship.
Agreed.
And I think maybe this was a good thing to also like, you know, steer that fire one more time, you know. And not that she necessarily doesn't need it, but I think this will definitely be like, oh no, this belongs to me. And I want this.
No, I agree. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Tyler Ralph. She is the only non-European that had made it onto the podium, and she was
congratulations.
It was such a beautiful moment. She was so thrilled
and fantastic
about
performance also too, because like, yes, of course someone will make a mistake and then you benefit from that, but that's racing. That's literally racing. Like, you don't make a mistake and you make it onto the podium, and she waited her time and she waited and someone made a mistake and she took advantage of that, and that's exactly what racing is, you know.
No, it was great to see her, and I just also love that you really see that all these women have this passion for it. They have the drive for it. They work really, really hard for it, and it's beautiful to see that they finally get some attention also. And I think it's definitely something I'm planning on watching more in the future.
Absolutely.
I'm also excited to see if we see some of those women pop up in more of those women pop up in different leagues or in different ways, because I think it was so much fun to watch and highly recommend it.
Especially because once again it's so easily to watch. It's 20-30 minutes, so it doesn't take up a lot of your time, and it is a lot of on track action, a lot of overtaking. I'm hoping that next year it will also maybe pull the pack a little bit more together. So we'll have, maybe this will give some of those women more experience, or maybe they will able to then get more on track experience through sponsorship and stuff like that, because everyone kind of knows like track days are very expensive. You know, motorsport is a very expensive sport to be in, you know, as a professional. So I'm hoping and I'm very excited to see what next year it will have in a store for us. And I'm just like, it was really, really awesome to watch it this year.
I agree. Definitely a 10 out of 10. Highly recommend it. And I'm looking forward to next year. Like we've been saying in our like recap videos that we're now doing, that we're both really excited for next year racing.
Absolutely.
Like 2025 racing. Like this year we watched a lot of different things and also new things like this league specifically. And it got me excited for next season. And this is definitely something I want to watch again next season.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Yes. But if you watched the World WCR, please let us know in the comments. Let us know your thoughts. Hopefully, if you haven't watched it yet, this might inspire you to watch it, or at least check out some of the highlights. Go to their YouTube video, go to their Instagram, support these women, support the racers, the riders, and tune in.
And then as always, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe, and we will be seeing you guys here soon with another
recap.
Let's get into it. Bye guys.